We roll along on drive time on a game night for Orange men's basketball tonight. It'll be a late night, 9 p.m. tip. Cuse and Florida State will have you covered tonight, pregame and postgame coverage. Orange women's team rolling this year, 14-3 on the season. Their next game night is Thursday. 2 home games this week against the California ACC schools. They'll play Cal on Thursday night. Then they'll play Stanford Sunday inside the Dome for a 2 p.m. tip. And they are coming off their biggest win of the season in a road victory, a quad 1 road victory at Virginia back on Sunday. And the star of that game joins us now. Laila Phelia went for 38 points, a career high in college. 38 points for Laila in that game on Sunday. So, Laila, to start out, I want to know, 38 points we know is your career high for college. Have you ever scored 38 points or more in any basketball game in your life?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's quite the banner game then. It was awesome to see you have a breakout game for sure offensively, and you've been such a big part of the team throughout this season. Walk us through pregame a little bit. Was your mindset different going into that game at all? I know that you guys were motivated after a tough showing in the game before.
Sure. I would say the biggest thing for me, at least after the tough loss against Duke, we gathered together that next morning and just hearing everything like that Coach Jack had to say about the game and just becoming tougher, us needing to set the tone and everything, and just having conversations on the side with Coach Jack, Coach Casey, Coach Moore, and just talking to them and realizing that what they needed from me, and that was setting the tone, being aggressive, starting right off the jump ball. And I feel like that was just going into that Virginia game, it was more so like, we don't want to have that feeling again. So getting the team together and understanding what exactly we need to do to be successful. We were also watching film all in the hotel room together, just my teammates and I, and we were just trying to see how can we be successful, where can we attack them at, and what's going to lead us to that victory. So
what's it say?
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see you guys went from one of the worst performances of the year and you have one of your best performances of the year in the game after. And I think for me, that speaks a lot to the culture that Coach Jack has in the team. And you're a leader of the team, and it does feel like this team's very connected. They have a lot of fun together. What's it say about the culture that you could go from a bad outing to a very good outing in that quick of a turnaround?
I would say the biggest thing for me is that the coaches did a great job recruiting the right people.
Yeah.
And just putting this team together. I would say that's the biggest thing, because after that tough loss, it's like, yes, we were down about it, but everyone was like, what can we do? How do we contribute? Even some of my teammates who don't see the floor as much, they're trying to figure out how can they help us? Like, what can they do on the sidelines? What will help us get going? And honestly, it's just that family environment, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of this group.
You've been around some great teams, some teams that have gone on deep runs in the NCAA tournament. For those that don't know, you started your career at Michigan, you played at Texas last year, and now you're at Syracuse. So I'm sure you can speak to how important it is to have that connectiveness and have a group that has that family environment that you're speaking to. Do you feel like this group has that about as much as some of those really great teams that you were a part of in previous years?
Yes, for sure. I would say, and I tell the girls all the time, that I've been a part of great programs, and I get the chills just thinking about this group right now. And it's like, we can make that same exact run. We can be just as successful because we have all the right pieces. So definitely.
And you've got the coach, right? With Coach Jack and her energy and passion. I think if anyone has seen any clip that's gone out on Syracuse's social media or just been to a game or seen Coach Jack for 5 seconds at Wegmans or whatever, we know she's got unbelievable energy and passion. What's it like playing for Coach Jack and showing up to practice, whether it's in the morning, night, whatever, and you know that she's going to be bringing that energy and passion?
It's honestly amazing just being able to have someone who believes in you in so many ways. And I feel like just being able to come to Syracuse and play for a coach like that, it's like she brings so much out of each one of us. And some parts of my game that I never saw was possible, it's like she believed it, and she is pulling it out of me each and every day at practice and games, even off the court. It's like she's constantly helping us. And I would say, like, it's really a blessing just being able to have someone who has so much confidence in you and belief, regardless, make or miss. So it's nice.
Laila Phelia is with us, a transfer guard in this year for Syracuse, one of their stars, coming off a 38-point career-high performance on the road at Virginia. And Laila, you've been very open about the scary eye injury that you had to deal with last year when you were at Texas. For our audience that has not heard about this, can you walk us through what you had to go through with that injury, and what were the first signs that you knew that something was off with your eyes last year?
Yes. So last year in June, I would describe it as just like a curtain it was my right eye. It looked like a black curtain on the top half of my eye. And I knew something was off, but, moving to Texas, tanning, being out in the sun a lot, I was like, maybe I'm just sensitive. So I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But then I would say a few days later, it dropped lower and it crossed my vision line, and everything just went blurry. And so I went to the eye doctor, mentioned that I had to have emergency eye surgery because my retina detached, started freaking out because I'm like, this is my senior season. Like, there's no way. Is there any medicine? Like, I can't have surgery right now. Like, we're going to have to push this off. And he just explained, like, no, it has to get done. I had to have a total of 2 surgeries actually on my eye, along with laser treatments throughout the season, which of course caused me to redshirt. And I feel like the biggest thing for me was just adjusting to that. And it was it just happened out of nowhere that the only thing I could really think about in that moment was just, you know what, everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer, and I just knew like God had a plan for me. So I feel like just getting through that season, figuring out what I can do on and off the court to just help Texas, and just figuring out how to find my voice, how to be a leader, even though I wasn't able to play out there. It was just a lot of different emotions, wondering why is this happening to me right now. I found out it was genetics, and I was just trying to figure out how it skipped a whole generation because I found out my grandfather on my mother's side had it. So I would say it was just a lot of different emotions going on, me just trying to figure it out, how to, like, will I be the same player that I was at Michigan? And even just fast forwarding and realizing, like, you know what, I need to figure this out, going into the transfer portal and coming across Coach Jack and just being able to realize that we get on the phone and she was telling me, Laila, I lost peripheral vision in my left eye. Like, I can't see either. Like, girl, I get you. And she's like, Laila, you could be just as great. Like, you could be even better than the player that you were at Michigan. I'm going to get you there. And it was just hearing all of that stuff and just that reassurance and everything. It was definitely like a no-brainer. Like, I need to play for a coach like that. Yeah, and she just had all the faith and the confidence in me. So
you talk about everything happens for a reason. I'm a believer in that as well. And I mean, that's like fate, right? That Coach Jack had a similar eye injury, and she's the coach that reaches out to you in the transfer portal.
Exactly. It was insane. I was like, no way. So you can understand how I feel. And I feel like that was just amazing. I loved it. I was like, oh, yes, finally someone gets it.
So what do you think yourself last year would have thought when you're going through that scary situation? If we would have told you a year from now about, or maybe less than that, I guess it's less than that, you're going to go for a career high 38 points and you're going to be playing like we know Laila can play and just balling out there for Syracuse.
I wouldn't have believed it, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
That's amazing. Such a great story. And I mean, it applies to any walk of life, really, that if you keep your head down and if you get dealt some adversity, and I mean, that's what the team just did. Some adversity came to you guys after the loss to Virginia Tech. You bounced back with a great game against Virginia. Let's talk about some of your teammates a little bit. And first, let's start with Sophie Burrows, who just goes out and, puts up 7 threes like it's nothing against Virginia on the road. And she's had some great shooting games on the road. Sophie's also been a terrific all-around player all year. What's it like playing with her and seeing her go off in the fourth quarter the other day?
It was amazing. Being able to be out there, being on the court with Sophie, it's like she just brings this sense of peace out there. No matter what, no matter what's going on, it's like I'm constantly looking at her and just trying to, what do we need to do? How do we get through this? And feeding off of her energy. And I feel like just going into that game and being able to have her by my side throughout that whole entire game, it helped me. And seeing her go off and knocking down those threes, it's like, yes, this is what we need. This is what we've been working on. This is all that work that she has been putting in. And it's like being able to see her do that. It was I was so happy and I was so proud of her, and just being able to witness all of that. It was amazing. And we always text all the time about what we can do to help this team and everything. And I just feel like seeing her growth as a captain and everything, and just being able to help me out so much, it's like everyone needs a Sophie in their life. And I always tell her that everyone needs one.
Love that. Well, what about Uche Azoje? Because Coach Jack has said from the moment that she stepped on campus, she could be a really special player one day. She's only a freshman, and she's already taken the ACC by storm this year, was National Freshman of the Week a couple weeks ago. Have you been around a player that has that type of skill set, a big like that, and just how big of her potential do you see, knowing that she's only a freshman and she's already putting up double-doubles in the league?
She's going to be tough. She, now, but then even just thinking about the future, yeah, Uche is going to be one hell of a problem, for all these other teams out here, because just seeing her work ethic, everything, and just how, one thing I loved about it is that when she won, the National Player of the Week, she had no clue what that meant. She was just excited. She's just I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just going out here and I'm just playing my butt off each and every game. And just seeing that in her, it's this is amazing. And seeing how she had that experience in Japan and everything, and coming to play for Coach Jack, it's seeing her grow and just fighting through the adversity, because now teams are doubling. Now teams are trying to figure out how to stop her down there, and just her understanding the game more and just learning and growing. She's in the gym constantly. After a game, we're why are you going to the gym? She's I need to get shots up. I need to rebound. I need to work on my free throws. I'm oh my gosh, this girl is crazy. You just played. Hella. What are you doing right now? So it's it's amazing. And her potential is out the roof. She's definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's scary to think how good she could be, knowing what she's doing as a freshman right now, and could be on her way to winning the ACC Rookie. Yeah.
And she's been working on her three-point shot. Oh, my gosh. This girl, I cannot wait till she starts, shooting that three in the game. She is going to be, she's special for sure.
Yeah, amazing to think if she adds that to her game as well. Well, Laila, this has been great. Before we let you go, 2 important home games this week, and I know that you appreciate and the entire team appreciates when the dome is packed and there's a good amount of energy in there. What would it mean to see a great crowd here on Thursday night against Cal and then Sunday afternoon against Stanford, knowing these are big games for you and your team right now?
Yes, it would be amazing just being able to see the dome packed out, and realizing that, and for people to realize that this team is so special and we are going to do great things. And I just feel like having Syracuse Orange out there to support us would be mind-blowing. It would be amazing, and it would definitely contribute and help with our success.
It'll be a 6 p.m. tip on Thursday night, the Orange taking on Cal, and then Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. tip against Stanford. Laila, thanks so much for spending some time with us this year.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Laila Phelia. Went for 38 points on the road, the most points that she has ever scored in a basketball game, according to herself. Amazing performance from her and the team on Sunday in a game where they were bouncing back and really faced some adversity after a tough game against Virginia Tech. They put together a tremendous second half and got a quad one victory.